Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our nutritional workshop. So today's team consists of Atika, Dylan, myself, Eva, Jessie, JJ, and YK. Okay, so starting off, we have our background information. So for training, we will have speed, interval, long, short distances training. So for for marathon, the energy system used mainly would be the aerobic system because it can go above 90 minutes and it's not lesser than 2 to 3 minutes. So what happens during the run? So your energy expenditure for men can go above 2,600 kcals. For women will be 2,000. So carbohydrates will be our primary muscle fuel source, and the intake for marathoners would be on the higher side of the range scale lah, basically. So for muscle breakdown, usually the depletion of glycogen reserves would cause fatigue and muscular breakdown. So that's what we will focus on during your nutritional intake and everything. Okay, moving on.
So for the psychological demands, we'll be having a high proportional of slow twitch muscle fibers in their running muscles, so that they can sustain the usage for 42K runs, and they will require to have a high lactic threshold, as your lactic threshold is determined by the body starts to accumulate the lactic acid from anaerobic respiration, and this will greatly influence your marathon run pace, as the higher lactic threshold you have, the faster you can run. And you need to have excellent biomechanics, the body position, and the foot length when you're running to minimize your strains on your joints and muscles. And the fourth one will be having a high VO2 max, as it relates to the body's ability to transport utilize a large amount of oxygen for the working muscles. The higher VO2 max you have, the faster and longer you can run. Lastly, we have a high glycogen storage, as your body stores carbohydrates to meet your energy needs for marathon running in the form of glycogen. Hence, it will be a primary source for fuel. Next slide.
So next, for the nutritional demands, the endurance athletes require adequate carbohydrates, and it's recommended to use carbohydrate loading, which refers to high carbohydrate intake for 3 to 5 days prior to a competition, and restrict high fat intake to prevent the premature fatigue, which overall affects the performance. Also ensure adequate nutrient intake such as fats, protein, vitamins, and minerals. So to ensure that this diet lasts for the athlete, they can train their body to utilize fat and optimize the glycogen consumption with long distance run, as it helps in training the body to utilize the fat stores for energy while running. So they can train their body by consuming and getting used to this diet over time. And furthermore, this diet allows for replenishment of glucose level in skeletal muscles, and the spare glycogen stores can also keep the blood glucose from dropping, which prolongs the onset of fatigue for increased performance and promote recovery.
For the dietary challenges, firstly, before I start, does anyone know what a high energy expenditure is? Can anyone answer? High energy expenditure. Okay. Well, high energy expenditure is the body's utilization of a significant amount of energy to perform various physiological activities. However, if energy expenditure is not balanced, there will be insufficient calories to meet the energy demands, which can potentially lead to fatigue. In conjunction with that, a lack of carbohydrates poses as a challenge, as carbohydrates are crucial to replenish glycogen levels. If there are insufficient carbohydrate consumption, there won't be replenishment of glycogen levels along with rapid depletion of glycogen, which can lead to fatigue. For the next points, which are dehydration, Okay, the next few points will be dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, gastrointestinal distress, and lack of protein. Does anyone know how lack of protein poses as a challenge? Okay, but I'm here to tell you that. So it can pose as a challenge of atrophy and weakness of the muscle, as insufficient protein intake hinders muscle recovery and repair and will contribute to the breakdown of muscle and causing atrophy, as the body will prioritize other essential functions like wound healing and hormone production over the repairing and maintenance of the muscle. This can lead to decrease in size and strength of muscle fibers, making it hard to produce constant force in every stride. For the next few points, which are micronutrient deficiency, it talks about how it can take place from sweat loss as essential electrolytes are lost. These electrolytes are crucial for maintaining hydration and muscle contraction. This deficiency could lead to a suppressed immune system and affect muscle function and recovery. Moreover, in conjunction, gastrointestinal issues can take place from long distance running, as it can lead to diarrhea and vomiting due to the wrong type or amount of food being consumed, which interferes with nutrient absorption and lead to micronutrient deficiency. Next.
So for sport-specific nutritional guidelines, research on the International Society of Sports Nutrition recommends that athletes that are following intense training schedules need to eat between 5 to 8 grams per kilograms of carbohydrates per day. So the rest will be coming from Sports Dietitians Australia regarding nutritional guidelines for marathon running, about 42 kilometers. So before the run, you want to replace roughly 150% of fluid lost over 4 to 6 hours after the session. And for carbohydrate loading, for over 24 to 48 hours before the event, and consume low fiber foods as well as reduce high protein or fat foods with compact liquid carbohydrate foods. And then during the run, you want to ensure that at least 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrates per hour is being taken in a form of 6% carbohydrate sports drinks. And then after the run, 20 to 25 grams of high quality protein should be ingested, as well as nutrient-rich whole food choices, which should be prioritized.
Lastly, for nutritional strategies and practical tips, for a person that is going for marathons, they should be well hydrated 2 to 3 hours before a run. Have 60 to 70, they should consume 60 to 70 grams of carbs, prioritizing carbs, for example, whole grain and vegetables. And some of the food that they can consume are banana and almond butter, turkey and cheese on wholemeal bread, and fruits, etc. Then during a run, they can eat snacks like banana, balls, cheese, and sports drinks, which consists of 30 to 60 grams of carbs, and also rehydrate their run or training is prolonged. Then after training, they should consume carbohydrates immediately after their training. Approximately 15 to 25 grams of protein, 0.25 to 0.30 grams of their body weight, per kg of their body weight.
Examples are chocolate milk, smoothie, or recovery bars. Yeah, so they should also have like a proper meal lah, a balanced meal, half on the like example can be on the healthy plate where half is vegetables, fruits and vegetables, 1/4 protein, and 1/4 whole grain food. Any questions?
So I have a question, yeah? Okay. Yeah, so I have a question. So, how can I recover quickly from a marathon?
Okay, so I will take that question. Basically, right, to recover quickly from a marathon, it is generally recommended to consume 1 to 1.2 carbohydrates per kg of body weight every hour for 4 hours. And then 15 to 25 grams or roughly 0.25 to 0.3 grams of kg body weight of protein immediately after exercise. Doing this will help replenish our glycogen storage and also aid in muscle repair to prevent fatigue. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
All right, man. Thank you.
Okay, I have one question. So how do we avoid bonking during marathon?
Yep, I'll take that question. So for bonking, which is hitting the wall, refers to premature fatigue. So we can avoid that by doing carbohydrate load, which is 3 to 5 days prior to the marathon, as it reduces muscle glycogen depletion after 60 minutes. Besides that, we can also hydrate the body during the run, which we'll be taking sports drinks like Pocari Sweat or 100 Plus to replenish the electrolytes lost in the sweat. Then you can also have energy gels and gummies or any carbohydrate-rich sports drinks you can consume. Yeah, hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I have a question. So, other than the 3 main nutrients, what else is crucial to include in the diet?
I can answer the question.
Okay.
Besides carbohydrates, fats, and proteins is crucial to include micronutrients like vitamin B, complex C, E, and minerals like iron, calcium, sodium, and potassium in the diet. These vitamins act as antioxidants protecting the immune system, supports energy production and red blood cell formation, whereas the minerals promote transport of oxygen in the red blood cell, maintaining electrolytes and regulate blood pressure. Some of these examples include fish, eggs, nuts, citrus fruits, oranges, red meat, dairy products, and sweet potatoes.
They might ask the question.
Okay, so we've come to the end of the whole presentation and the Q&A. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you. Bye-bye.